Yes, 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 yes. The Spirit of God is not only upon you, it is within you, it is
Mm,
all around you, it's
around you.
who you are. So
Yep.
today we just celebrate and rejoice that that is so. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Okay, Mike, take it away.
Yes, yes, yes. And good morning. Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for joining us in this spirit of perfect harmony. We are the Center for Spiritual Living, West Georgia. We study and practice the philosophy and science of the mind we know as God. And with our spiritual presence and our participation in our service this morning, we manifest, we, we create a higher state of consciousness and manifest love. Love is synonymous to God. Our master teacher, Reverend Dr. Sandra Jackson, has been posting daily inspirational messages throughout the past week and will now proceed with our service.
Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning once again. So let us begin by creating holy, sacred space right where you are. Let's just close our eyes and turn within. And as we breathe in, we breathe and know that we breathe the breath of God, for it is God that gives us life. It is that life force that shows up as our breath. And so we breathe in this moment and we just relax and release and let go into God. Let go and let God. And so we know that in this very moment, that right where we are, right where I am, it is holy space. For the Spirit of God in me, through me, and as me is creating that space which is holy ground. Anywhere I go, everywhere I go is holy space. For I, the oneness of God as me, goes with me, goes in me, through me, and as me. For it is that which I am. I am that which I am. And so, as we begin today's service, we do so knowing that we are many bodies, we are in multiple places, but we are one spirit, one life, one presence, one life. That is God. One intelligence, one wisdom, one creative force that is expressing itself in, through, and as anything and everything that is. And so we accept our place in the universe. We accept our awareness of who and what we are in this very moment. And we allow it to be as we come together in community, in love, in joy, and in celebration of the fullness, the completeness, and the wholeness that we are. And so it is. Amen.
So it is.
Okay, so let us begin with Marcia and our declaration of principles along with our vision and mission.
Mhm.
Do I see the vision mission on the screen?
Yep,
Okay, great.
again.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Okay, wait. I have. Okay, CSL West Georgia
Here's how
is a
West Georgia is a joyful
joyful
global
global
community
community
where
where
everyone
everyone
belongs.
belongs. Through our unique
Our
spiritual
unique
teachings,
spiritual teaching.
we provide a safe environment to experience compassionate living. No, we're not. And our declaration of principles, I believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. There is one life which I am a part, one intelligence which I use, one substance which takes form as my life.
Okay, thank you so much. This morning, our music is brought to us by Connie and Cynthia.
Hello, good
Yay!
morning.
Hey,
Good
look
morning.
at that. We're playing a ukulele today. All right.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna try. I'm
There's
gonna give it
versatility
a.
there. Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
Oh, my
There's no
dog is
such thing as
barking.
try. You will do it. Yes.
I will do it.
Okay,
Okay.
go for it.
We're going to do a little song that, I'll try to give you sign language of when you come in.
Cues.
Okay.
Cue 'em.
She's got the right words. I'll give you the cues. It's that song, I Love Myself So Much. You're familiar with that one? Okay. We heard Marsha would have the congregation doing that. So.
Yep. And we're going to, instead of congregate, well, we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to do it like a call and answer kind of things. But here we go. You can sing it through with me first, okay? All right. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that I can start loving me. All right, here's the call and answer part. I love myself so much.
I love myself so much
That I can love you so much.
that I can love you so much
That you can love you so much.
that you can love you so much
That you can start loving me. And one more time. Everybody, I love myself so much.
I love myself so much
I can love you so much.
that I can love you so much
That you can love you so much.
that you can love you so much that
You can start loving me. Together now. I love myself so much that I can love you so much. That you can love you so much that you can start loving me. That was fun. Woo!
Yes, I can't wait to get back to church so that we can do that together, because it is a fun song and we always have a great time doing it. Right, everybody? Yes, shake your head, yes. Okay, thanks. Not to mention it's a good message. All right. This morning, our reading is done by Zizi way over there in the Palm Springs, whatever. I
Oh,
love it.
no.
Yes,
You-
I love it.
In the high desert of Reno.
With the Palm Spring. With the
Oh,
Palm
I
Spring.
see. Yes, the palms. Yes, I see. Well, I was trying to find a tree, and you will see why I had to find a tree. This is a Hindu parable. Sit back, get ready to laugh, get ready to have fun. This is a good one. There was a man who wandered throughout the world seeking his deepest desire. He wandered from one city to another, from one realm to another, looking for fulfillment and happiness. But in all his wanderings, never came to it. Finally, one day, tired from his search, he sat down underneath a great tree at the foot of a mountain. What he did not know was that this was the great wish-fulfilling tree. Whatever one wishes for when seated underneath it immediately becomes true. As he rested in his weariness, he thought to himself, what a beautiful spot this is. I wish I had a home here. And instantly before his eyes, a lovely home appeared. Surprised and delighted, he thought further, if only I had a partner to be here with me, then my happiness would be complete. And in a moment, a beautiful woman appeared, calling him husband and beckoning to him. Well, first, I am hungry, he thought. I wish there was food to eat. Immediately, a banquet table appeared covered with every wonderful kind of food and drink, main courses, pastries, sweets of every variety. The man sat down and began to feast himself hungrily, but partway through the meal, still feeling tired, he thought, I wish I had a servant to serve me the rest of this food. And sure enough, a manservant appeared. Finishing the meal, the man sat back down to lean against this wonderful tree and began to reflect, how amazing it is that everything I wish has come true. There is some mysterious force about this tree. I wonder if there is a demon who lives in it. And sure enough, no sooner than he thought this, a great demon appeared. Oh my, he thought, this demon will probably eat me up. And that is just what it did.
Thank you. All right. I love that story. It's the law of cause and effect, it just, it's just that it's happening instantly instead of taking a long time. And that's what we're talking about today. Cosmic connections and our bridges over troubled waters. So if you have your journal, we are on week number 3 of October. And the topic for this month is cosmic connections, and bridge over troubled waters is today's topic. And so that is a wonderful story of cause and effect. But I have another one for you. There was a man who wanted to buy a new car. And so he was looking through the classified, this obviously was a long time ago. He was looking through the classified section and he found the car for $50. And he's like, it says brand new Jag. A brand new Jaguar for $50? Well, there is something wrong with that. Okay, so, but he said, well, but I haven't taken my chances and get on it before somebody else, just in case it is real. So he goes, he contacts the owner and she says, absolutely, it's a brand new Jag for $50. So he said, well, I will be right over. So he goes right over to the woman's house. He takes his $50. He gives her the $50. He gets the pink slip and all the stuff he needs, to justify, to say that this is his car. And then he's about to drive away and his curiosity gets the best of him. And it's like, why is she selling this car for $50? I mean, this car is worth way more than $50. So he goes back into the house and he says, ma'am, he says, I don't mean to bother you or pry into your business, but why are you selling this car for $50? And so she goes, well, I came home a week or so ago and I received a letter, a note from my husband. And on the note, it said, I have gone to Tahiti with my new girlfriend. I leave you the house. You may have the bank accounts. You may have everything. You can have all of that. But please just sell my Jag and send me the proceeds. And she did. All of $50. We all relate to that, because it's revenge, isn't it? It's like he did her wrong and she got even with him. And don't you just feel so good when somebody messes around with you and you can get even with them, and you can get even with them. And guess what? Can you imagine the look on his face when he got that $50? He's like, 50, there's supposed to be like a few more zeros after this 5, isn't there? No, you get $50 because you did your wife wrong. You ran off with your girlfriend, and this is your penalty for doing that. So, we all have these experiences, because what this is it's a bond of love that has been broken. And we all have bonds of love that have been broken. We all do. From the time we were little children, all through adulthood, we have, maybe last week, a bond of love got broken. I don't know, but we all have them. And I want you to think in terms of, in the beginning, we are all one. We teach that, right? And we teach that God is love. And God is love. And if God is love, then we're all in that oneness of love. We're all connected. We're all unified in that one. But then somebody gets hurt. And what do? Turn around and hurt someone else. So the wife was hurt. And how did she feel like she could get even? She was hurting her husband. But it's not even, is it? It's not even. And here's the thing. Before he ran off with this other woman, there were little hurts along the way on both sides. The bonds of love, we get married and we're together like this, right? And then stuff happens, this happens and that happens, and we don't deal with it. And there's this conflict and that conflict. And then the in-laws get involved and the other community, and our work gets involved, and our children, and people get upset with this and that. And I forgot to polish both sides of my nails, and you can see them, right? That's another bond that's broken. Okay, so anyway, here we are breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking apart. And it's not sometimes until something drastic happens that we go like, oh, well, now I can be really mad because I'm the victim here and you are the perpetrator. And so therefore I can be mad at you without recognizing that we played some role in all of this hurt. So let's just back up for just a minute and realize that we all have unresolved experiences of hurt in the world. And each one of those hurts breaks a bond of love between us and somebody else. And sometimes it breaks a bond of love that we have for ourselves too. We don't want to forget that. And so today we are talking about the bridge over troubled waters. What are troubled waters? They're waters, there's life experiences that are not comfortable, that are broken, that are difficult. Back in the day, before Jesus, there was the Mosaic law, the law of Moses. And in Matthew 18, there's the Mosaic law, and it explains that if you are hurt, then you get to hurt the other person, or you're trying to resolve it. So in Matthew, it says, now if your brother is at fault with you, go and rebuke or reprimand him. Go alone. And if he listens to you, then you have won your brother. But if he will not listen to you, then take one or two, because from the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word is established. So you take witnesses with you. So you go alone first. And if that doesn't resolve the issue, then you take a couple of other people with you, because now you have witnesses. Witnesses to what? Doesn't say, but I'm willing to bet since you're going to reprimand them, then you're taking witnesses to your being right and the other person being wrong, okay? And then the Bible says, and if he will not listen to them, the 2 or 3, then tell the congregation, take more people. And if he will not listen to the congregation, then regard him as, guess who was the worst people in those days? The tax collector. Or as a heathen, okay? So you then regard him as a tax collector and as a heathen. And so the way the Mosaic law is reconciling differences is not through healing. It's through what? Reprimand and scolding. Somebody is right and somebody is wrong. And so Peter, later on in the chapter, goes to Jesus and he says, knowing, now Jesus, Peter knew the Mosaic law, okay? So now he comes to Jesus and he says, my Lord, if my brother is at fault with me, how many times should I forgive him? Up to 7 times? And Jesus said to him, you probably all heard this, I do not say up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7, 70 times 77. Why did Jesus say to forgive so many times? We always say that, don't we? I mean, we've heard that quoted so many times, and we don't even realize why Jesus is saying that. We just know that it means forgiveness. Well, I think that he said 70 times 70 because underneath the hurt that we're realizing, underneath the hurt that had this woman to say, I'm going to sell this car for $50, underneath that was a hurt, 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 hurt. There's all these bonds that have been broken before you get to the point where it just is pulled apart like that. We don't deal with the little issues, do we? We just let them go. We think, oh, it's not a big deal. And then we let them go, and then we let them go, and then we let them go. And so today we're talking about forgiveness, but what is underneath the underneath forgiveness? Because we always talk about forgiveness. Everybody knows about forgiveness now. I mean, we have had books written about it, articles written about it. We hear about it all the time. We all know that we're supposed to forgive, but why do we need to forgive? Why is Jesus saying forgive 70 times 7? And Ernest Holmes says, he says, I think anyway, I'm connecting it to the law of cause and effect. Ernest Holmes says, how often we condemn when we should forgive, how often censure when we might praise. What untold grief of heart might be relived by words of cheer and forgiveness. Especially should this lesson be remembered in the training of children, for they so readily respond to the thought of others. I say that because we were children at one time, receiving these thoughts, okay? Getting hurt and not being able to resolve it with the adults that are around with us, because maybe the adults didn't even know that we were being hurt. Remembering, he goes on to say, remembering that spirit holds no evil toward men and that God is love, we should emulate this divine lesson and forgive all that our hearts may be free from, so that our hearts may be free from the burden of our own condemnation. Free from the burden of our own condemnation. That's an interesting thing, right? So here's the thing about the law of cause and effect. It is the inside is cause. That's in your thought, in your mind, okay? The outside is the effect, what you experience. So if you are thinking discord and ugliness and unhappiness and, oh my goodness, this is what they did to me, and all this victimization thought, then guess what? Your experience is going to be victimization. You're going to have discord in your life. If we talk about discord, we shall become more discordant. The more that the world arms for war, he says, the more certain it is that there will be war. People who spend all their time talking about unhappiness become more unhappy. Now stop and think about the people who you say, I'm not talking to that person anymore. Because every time you're with them, they do what? They complain. We all know complainers, don't we? I mean, I know complainers. I'm sure you know complainers. And what are they doing? They complain, they complain, they complain. What are they doing when they're complaining? They're talking about the negative. They're talking about what is unhappy. They're talking about that which is, as Ernest Holmes says, discordant in their lives. They're talking about the things they don't want to happen in their lives. But in the process of doing that, they are creating more of it, because that's what the law of cause and effect is. If you are being unloving and uncaring and experiencing that, and then you're focusing your attention on it, and you're complaining about it, and you're running around telling everybody about it, guess what? You're not going to get less of it. You're going to get more of it. And it stores in our mind. Okay, think about your computer. We all have computers. Everybody is either on a phone or a computer. And if you're on a phone, it's a computer nowadays too. Okay, all right. So here's the thing. They all have memory. Every last one of them have memory. Now, I have not the slightest idea, but I took a class in college in math, and I never could understand how binary could create all this infinity of stuff, but it does, okay? So anyway, we all have these computers. We haven't the slightest idea how they work, right? Most of us don't, okay? There's a few of us who do, but most of us have not the slightest idea of how our computers work. However, we know that they have memory. We know that we can put stuff in there and we can save it, and we can get rid of it when we're not ready, when we don't need it. We can manipulate it, okay? Just like our lives. All right, so here we are. We put in a document, and we save it. And then we go about our business and we forget. That document is taking up memory. It's being saved. And whatever it is, 5 years later, you come back, it's the same document, right? Okay, so about a week or so ago, I got this little message on my computer. It says, you need to manage your memory because you're almost out of memory. You're almost out of storage space. Now, you can either buy some more storage space, okay, all right, okay, or you can squish it and compress it, or you can trash it. You can get rid of some of these files that you don't need. Forgiveness is getting rid of the files. For, now, all right, now listen, you don't just get rid of the files. You put them in trash, and then what you have to do, empty the trash. Because if you don't empty the trash, guess what? They're still taking up space. And Chris is over there just howling because he knows it's true. Okay? All right? We all know it's true. They are still taking up space. And the same thing is true with you. Stuff that happened to you 50 years, well, maybe you're not 50 yet, but 10 years ago, let's go 10. I look here, I see adults here, so I know everybody's got at least 10 years. All right, so something happened 10 years ago. You got really pissed off and mad, and you were like, and you got real victim-y and everything. And, you didn't deal with it, right? It's a memory, though. It's still there. And, it fades a little at a time, right? You don't think so much about it, all the time. It doesn't hurt as much as it did initially. You've gone on with your life, new things have happened, and, sometimes better things, sometimes not so better. But you know what? Somewhere along in your life, something happens and it triggers this. It comes up and says, there's a memory here. Hello. And it's causing you problems, just like the computer. Do you see? And so you have to say, okay, I have to pull this out and take a look at it. What I had to do is go through the files and say, do I want this? No. Do I want this? No. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Empty the trash. And we have to do, that's what forgiveness does. It helps you to empty the trash. And you have to do that periodically. And see, most teachers will tell you, forgive before you go to bed every night. And then when you wake up in the morning, be grateful. It's all about the law of cause and effect, because those little things that you did not forgive are still active and present and causing problems in your life. And the reason you do 70 times 7 is because there's more than one little thing connected to it. It's sort of like, you pull a string and you keep pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, right? It's like if you have a sweater or something that's knitted and you pull on the string, right? And it starts to unravel and it keeps on. And so that's the 70 times 70. You just keep raveling until there is nothing there. And how do you know when there's nothing there? When you can look at that other person. Now, I'm not saying you return to the relationship, but you look at that other person and you can say, you know what? I love you. I love you. I love you. It doesn't mean that you have to go back and be in relationship with them. Sometimes you're doing this with abusers, and abusers you do not go back to. But if you have family members who are not abusers, people that you haven't talked to in 10 years, why haven't you talked to them in 10 years? Because the love bond has been broken on one side or the other. Just think, do I want to have a relationship with this person? If you do, then you have to work on the forgiveness. Now, here's the thing. We are never victims. We participated in whatever it is that happened to us. The woman in the story, guess what? She was a participant in the relationship. She was not victimized by this relationship. Just like in the Hindu story that Zizi just read, just like the man in the under the wishing tree, he was not a victim. He asked for everything and he got everything he asked for. And so do you and I. We just don't realize that we're asking for stuff sometimes. We don't realize that what we're asking for. So the Hawaiians have a healing prayer that they use called Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. And it starts like this. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. It's very simple. It starts out with, I'm sorry because of repentance. And what that is an acknowledgement that I participated in this somewhere. I somehow have some responsibility in what happened to me. And here's the thing, when we start to see how we are responsible in what happened to us, then, and that we're not victims, we're empowered by that. We get more power back that because we're not victimized, right? We can now come to a place of choosing how we want to be in this relationship. We are not being beaten down. And so beginning with I'm sorry says, you know what? I participated. I may not even realize how I participated in it, but I did somehow or another, and I'm willing to be sorry for my participation. And then please forgive me. Please forgive me for whatever it is I did. And thank you. I am grateful that we had this relationship because now I can heal it. I'm recognizing I'm recognizing my role in it, and I'm willing to heal it. And I love you, which restores the bonds. The Hawaiians use this as a family kind of thing. When there were breaches in the family, they would all sit down and they would do this as an activity, and everybody would see would say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And through the process of it, they would restore the relationships in the families. We don't have to even let anybody know we're doing it. We can do it on our own. And here's the thing. The faster you do it, the more powerful it is. And the clearer and the cleaner you come away from the relationship. But at the same time, you can do this for yourself. Stop and think of all the times you've hurt yourself, you've injured yourself because of the law of cause and effect and your ignorance of doing what you did and not realizing that you were hurting yourself in the process of it. Okay, so you do these things and then you do it for yourself. Please, I'm sorry that I did whatever it is I did to myself. I'm forgiving myself for what it is that I did. And I'm grateful that I had the experience. Why? Because I am more now. I am cleaner. I've cleaned out some of those dead files. I've gotten rid of some of those old files and that old memory and that old pain and the old suffering. And so now I can love more and I can be loved more. Each of us is responsible for our lives. Just like the guy sitting underneath the tree. He's responsible for getting eaten up by a demon. If you don't want to get eaten by a demon, don't call them into your life. And we call demons into our lives, believe me, okay? We call them into our lives. They're the people who are unhappy. But who calls them? We're calling them with our own unhappiness. Do you see? It's that we're attracting. We attract the good as well as the bad that happens in our lives. So it's our responsibility to reestablish the bonds of love within our own heart. And therefore, it shows up in our world when we start attracting wonderful, loving people into our lives. I watch people, do forgiveness and not tell anybody that they're doing it. And the people that they've forgiven show up in their lives acting like nothing happened. It's like, well, we were having a problem. I didn't know we were having a problem. Why? Because the problem was on my side or whoever's side it was. Do you see? So today, start forgiving. You can make a mantra out of this. Say it with me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Simple, easy. Okay. And you can say it and people don't even know you're saying it. You just in your own mind. Just start cleaning out those files. Dr. Barbara King passed away last Monday. And I have several of her books. And so I pulled out one of them. It's the one on Transform Your Life. And if you didn't see it earlier this week, I put in her forgiveness process. And one of the things she says in there, I don't remember if I put this in there. One of the things she says in there is make a list of people that and things that you need to forgive. And the things you need to be forgiven for, I might ask, because we've done things ourselves. Okay, so just make a list and go down the list. Start down the list. Use this prayer, and every night just do a little bit of forgiveness work every day when you think about it, because it's the law of cause and effect that's operating in your life. And when you forgive, you create more love in your life. And the law of cause and effect brings you what? More loving experiences. Do you see? That's how it works. So we're not just forgiving so that other people can have a good life. We're forgiving so that we can create new experiences for ourselves. When I get rid of those old programs, those things in my computer that are no longer, guess what? I got more space. And I don't have to buy any. Do you see? And that's like in our lives. It's the having more love and more availability to be loved. And therefore, guess what? We get more loving people in our lives. That's the way it goes, folks. You're always sitting under the wishing tree. What are you wishing for? Good things or demons? It's up to you. It's your choice. It's your choice. Let's close our eyes and turn within. And let's be grateful for the wishing tree and for the clarity that we have about it. Let's be grateful that we have choice, that we have free will, that we are not victims, that we are empowered expressions of the living God, that in us, through us, and as us, we have the power, we have the intelligence, we have the creativity, and it's all wrapped in the love of God, that it is within us, and it is always there for us to tap into as we have eyes to see, ears to hear, a heart that is open and receptive to the experience of it. And so today we open our consciousness, our conscious attention, our conscious love, our conscious awareness that this is the truth that lives and moves and expresses itself in all aspects of who and what we are. In this very moment, we open ourselves with deep and complete awareness to the truth of who we are. And we know that we are love. And so today we open our hearts and minds to forgive, to release, to let go of anything and everything that separates us from the full and complete experience of loving and being loved. For God is love, and we are love, and all that we experience is love being expressed in the world. This is the truth that we are expressing this day. This is the truth that is unfolding in us and through us and as us. And as we take full and complete responsibility for the life that we are living, then we are empowered to live it with joy, with love, with peace, with wisdom, with understanding, with intelligence, and with deep creativity that allows us to have the life that we choose to live. not the life that we were given. And so, in gratitude and thanksgiving for this, and knowing that it is manifesting itself in each one of our lives in the most perfectly apropos way for each and every one of us, I release this word now, knowing it is done, knowing that all things are working together for good, that something great and wonderful is happening in each one of our lives as a result of the love that we are sharing and feeling and knowing and experiencing within ourselves and in our world. And so it truly is. Amen. Okay. All right.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Good. Thank you. All right. Go ahead.
Okay, hey,
For you.
what a beautiful message. Thank you so much. I was at a workshop several years ago about forgiveness, and I wrote a song about it. It's on my second CD. It was one of the top 10 songs in the world for a while. It's called I Remember. It's called, the CD is called I Remember. The song is called I Forgive. And I forgive myself. So, there's a self-forgiveness that we all need too, right? To forgive ourselves. And in this song, it's like a meditation, and you go into the valley and you pick flowers that are the colors of your chakra, and you lay them on the altar and you forgive yourself. So here we go. Picture a valley in your mind. Wander there a while, where the peaceful waters flow. Feel the summer smile, pick an offering of flowers, red and orange and yellow, green and blue, indigo and violet, chakra energies and hues. There are secrets you must tell, wrongs that you have done, tools you use to survive. The past can be undone. Pick an offering of flowers, red and orange and yellow, green and blue, indigo and violet. Let the healing voice in you sing with me. I forgive, I forgive, I forgive myself. I forgive, I forgive, I forgive myself. There's an altar on the hill. Lay your flowers there to face the ugliness in you, the sadness and despair, the past with all its prisons, shame and rage and pain, envy and fear, narcissism, judgments, a heart that will not hear. I forgive,
forgive myself for the mistakes I've made, the opportunities I've missed for turning my back on success. I forgive myself for resistance, my denial, my selfishness, my narcissism, my better than my judgments. I forgive myself for stealing, cheating, lying, for letting go my ego run rampant, for turning my back on love. I forgive myself. I forgive. I forgive. I forgive myself. That's it. It's a miracle of love when I forgive myself. Thank you.
Wow, that's a great song, and that's quite a list. Okay, 70 times 70. Remember that.
We didn't do the whole list.
Well, that was enough.
She's got quite a list.
That'll
to
keep us
forgive
busy
herself
for at least a week. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, that's great. That was great. All right, Marcia, your turn.
Good morning. Good morning. So now is the time that I get to share with everyone how you can support our center. As I always like to show you, there are 3 ways that you can support the center. If you would like to donate online, please donate through PayPal. I put the link in the chat window. That link also shows up in all of the newsletters. So that is one way that you can feel comfortable giving. If you would rather send a check, the address is there on the screen. It also is there on our newsletters. Go ahead and you can mail that check, and that would be fine. And also, I don't know if anybody took part in Amazon's Prime Day this week, but just remember that if you shop with Amazon, all you have to do is connect with our link, and Amazon has the charitable donation program with them that whatever you purchase, a portion of that sale will come back to our center. And also in the link, I added the YouTube link. And, what we're doing is these Zoom meetings are being placed on Facebook for Facebook Live. But some people don't do Facebook, so we're also taking that video and putting it on YouTube. And it would help our center to grow our online presence. If you are on Facebook, go ahead and connect with us, Center of Spiritual Living, West Georgia, and share our service videos, so that people can get the word out. And if you are a person that likes to watch YouTube, go ahead and click subscribe to our channel, so our channel can begin to grow. And then hopefully some people that are not connected, it will show up as a recommendation for them. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and just bring everybody in with saying, I am grateful for the divine givingness circulating abundantly through my life, our community, and our world.
Thank you, Marcia. All right. So on that smile account, once you do that and you save it, then every time you go to Amazon, it will automatically put in put in our information and provide us with the resource. Okay, so announcements. Next Sunday, we have a guest speaker, and that speaker will be John Stringer. And I have not had the pleasure of hearing him, but Cynthia has and Marcia has, and they say he is awesome. So please do this. Don't just come yourself. Bring somebody else too. Okay? Bring somebody that would love to have an experience of Sunday that they haven't had. And I'll let Cynthia and Marcia, if you want to say something about John. Either one of you. You have to unmute yourselves. Okay.
My technician here was a little slow unmuting me. But I forgive her. It's okay. Thank you. Anyway, John's fabulous. He spent a lot of time out with Ricky and Michael out in California, and he has a message sort of similar to Michael's, and it's wonderful. And he's a wonderful singer. He's a former Billboard charting rock and roll singer, and you're just gonna love him. He's full of love and light, and don't miss it. You don't want to miss it.
Marcia?
Definitely. I don't have anything prepared, but while you were talking, Cynthia, I went and I got John Stringer's link to his website.
Sam, how you doing?
I thought I put it in there, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, good. It didn't. Weird. But when I was a member at Hillside, he's performed there a few times. He is absolutely phenomenal. He is very entertaining. And I'm trying to remember if I ever heard him speak, but I am sure that his songs are so touching that I'm sure he's also a very powerful speaker as well. So I'm looking forward to next week. And I am going to personally attempt to get an advertising flyer created so that we can send it through our email system and put it on Facebook so that will be something that you also can share.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe it's going to be a fabulous experience, and it's going to be great. So.
I know you guys all love listening to me every week, but I am going to enjoy listening to John. So I will be here too. So please do. And Mike, you'll do the opening for our service, and I will do the opening prayer, and then John will be taking it away and doing the rest. So he will probably weave some songs in with his message, whatever. So anyway, be sure and show up next Sunday. The following Sunday, November 1st, next Sunday is the last Sunday in Halloween is that week, right? Okay, and then November 1st is our membership meeting, our annual membership meeting. So please do plan not only to come to service, but also if you're a member to stay after service. And you don't have to be a member to attend the membership meeting. Anybody who is interested in our spiritual community can come and participate in that. Member, when we vote on board members, you can't vote, but you can definitely be a part of and add to whatever the conversation is. We welcome everybody. There's no exclusions, okay? So, and if you know people in our community who are members, you want to be sure and let them know that November 1st is membership meeting, and all members will be getting notification of this in your emails, okay? All right, I believe that is, that's all on my notes. So thank you so very much for being here today. Please do go forgive yourself and somebody this week, okay? And enjoy. Clean out some of that old storage and let your light shine and enjoy yourself and enjoy your life, okay? Marcia, we have a video.
I'm tired of the guilt that brings me pain. Now is a time for me to let go of the shame. The past behind me, I see anew. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive them. I forgive them. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. Said I'm ready for my change. Oh, I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender, yes I do. No, I'm ready for my change. Oh, I'm ready for my
This is Charles Holt. Charles Holt. Come on, Charles. It's our Agape House band. Greg Critchley, Reese Hester, Rob McDonald, Joshua Sklar.
Woo, woo, wow. I hope you are ready for your change. Yes. You have to be ready, don't you? What great music we've had this week. So thank you, Cynthia and Gloria. Thank you, Zizi, for the reading. Great job on that. Thank you, Sandy, for arranging for volunteering and doing that, arranging our readers. And do you need somebody for next week? Okay. You know what? I'm not sure if we're going to have a reading for next week because John's doing it. So the readings I had were all stories this week. Did you like the stories? Yeah, they're nice, huh? Okay. All right. So I will see you all in a few minutes if you're staying for fellowship. And if you're not, we'll see you next week or whenever we do. Don't forget, bring a friend next week. Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. Bye, everybody. Here's our closing. We go forth today knowing that we are God's blessing in the world. Only good goes from us and only good comes to us. And so it is. And as we are being good, we are creating more good. All right. Thank you all for being here today. See you next Sunday.